If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
So, the other day, dude, some interesting stuff happened. As many of the homies, as many of you guys know, I work in a retail business. And even though I have a job where I'm not forced to work the same location, where I'm kind of called from place to place as my position is needed, I nonetheless work with a lot of people face to face, a lot of customer base. And, a lot of the times the conversation becomes somewhat reflective and we get to know each other a little bit because we're both in a awkward period of waiting. So what else are you going to do? You're going to force small talk like you do with your family at family reunions. But in this particular case, dude, something happened, and you already know it's a pet peeve of mine. But we got to talk about it, because, homies, I hope this doesn't happen to you. If it does, I hope you have a great retort for it, okay? So I'll sit there and tell people and kind of joke around with them about, obviously, the podcast, because I love it when more people join and become officially homies. By the way, you are already a homie if you're listening to this. Congrats. So that being said, I'll tell them about it and it goes, oh yeah, it's a total awesome nerd podcast. And we have a lot of great times there, and I kind of laugh and joke with them. Sometimes the wording comes out where it's like, oh yeah, we're total nerds. We always do this. And when that particular phrasing is used, you know what they say 99.9% of the time? You already know it. I know you do. You can read my mind. Say it. Don't worry. I'll say it for you. Oh, that's all right. It's like, I'm sorry. Did I ask for your blessing? I'm thankful that I get your blessing, your permission to be a nerd. It's like, I don't need you to tell me, oh, that's all right to be a nerd. Like, it's a dismissive thing you have to give to me. That language, guys. And I hope none of you take that. Because nerd culture is growing. At this point, nerd culture needs to be redefined, because the word nerd that's all of us. Being a nerd is just being passionate about something and not being afraid to express said passion. So it's like, well, oh, thank you for your permission, but I never needed it. Yeah. So you can take your that's all right blessing back in your face, I'm waiting for the one person that says, fuck yeah, me too, man. It's like, fuck yeah, what you nerding about? What you into, Star Trek? That's not my deal, but I'll listen to you, sure. Yeah. Whatever. But I don't know, it's just interesting, because I always gotta, I don't know, I hope no one takes that rolling. And no one takes, let me make more sense of that statement, because no one ever says that. No one ever takes that sitting down, Because it's like, nah, you guys are nerds. Fuck yeah, be proud of that. All of us are proud of that. Which is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope I'm not alone in that. Maybe there's a couple of other homies out there who are like scratching their head. What the fuck are you talking about? But hopefully there's at least a few of you, a handful, saying, yeah, you got some sense, Kevin. You're talking some sense. Now, that doesn't mean riot. Don't punch them or something, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
It is kind of a silly thing where people think that being a nerd is a bad thing, where they speak about it in a derogatory sense.
Exactly. That's what they're subconsciously telling you when they say, that's all right. Like, I want you to tell me that when I'm actually doing something wrong. Like, oh, hey, I'm sorry, I'm late. Oh, that's all right.
Right.
That's cool. That makes sense. Oh, hey, I'm a nerd. That's all right. What? No, I didn't need you to tell me that's all right, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just the saying that, it's just the implication that something about being a nerd is wrong or is okay, but yet this individual is tolerant of it. That's all right. That statement means, and it's kind of I don't know if most people, even who aren't, I guess, traditional nerds, I don't know if they even understand that it's just an incorrect statement. That what you're saying is
exactly
is antiquated, and it's time to move on. It's 2020. I mean, if you haven't realized by now, nerds own the fucking world.
Hell yeah, we do.
Hell yeah.
And just to bring my story full circle, these customers don't know what to do when I say, "Oh, well, thanks for your permission, but I didn't ask you." And I joke around with them about it, but in a passive aggressive sense. So it's like, "Oh, hey, fuck you, thanks, ha 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 ha." And it's like, "Oh, what are you nerd about? What do you like?" "Oh, I'm glad you asked. I've been reading, you know."
Right.
But, yeah.
But yeah, guys, so welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I am here with the homie Kevin.
Hell yeah, guys, loud and proud. Here we are, nerding out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you guys doing out there? Yeah.
Hopefully everybody's been doing all right. We got some fun stuff started to help kick off your week and to keep it going. So today we're going to be doing a comic news episode. And of course, for those of you,
I've done that, I almost forgot.
And of course, for those of you who are maybe new to the comic news segment, it's where we take tidbits of information that we gather from all corners of the internet, and we bring it together and we burn it in a giant pile, in a giant fire, and
a giant effigy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we sing praises to the comic gods, such as like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Kevin Feige and the Russos and all the greats. But no, we talk about different happenings going on in the realm of superheroes and whatnot. So it's a really fun segment that we do, and we try to do one at least once a month. Sometimes it's once every other month. All depends.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, guys. So that's what this is going to be. It's more of a lax conversational piece. We take different topics and we dissect them and give our thoughts. What else is a podcast for?
Exactly. Yeah. Besides laughing and hoping that people listening laugh too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and go straight into this. Let's go ahead and get an easy one out the way. One that we talked about on the Facebook page for those of you who follow our social media. New trailer for New Mutants came out today. Further attempting to solidify the fact that the idea that this movie is coming out this year.
Yes. So what you think of the trailer, Kevin?
So actually, I watched it on my phone. I need to watch it on like a larger screen or something like that because watching on the phone, there's too many distractions. I can't get enveloped enough into it, and the lighting is never right to where I can see all the details, especially for a trailer like this one, which was dark and scary and brooding, and they're trying very cool and very uniquely to go into like a horror superhero vibe. I'm a little worried for it. I am because I don't understand how you're going to take a place like the X-Mansion, which has normally been written in the idea that this is a warm and almost enchanting place for how unique it is compared to the most of the normal Homo sapien realm, and that Homo superiors can be housed and protected and train and live happily here. So I'm curious how we're going to.
That wasn't the X-Mansion though, was it?
I don't know. That's what I'm imagining. You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
I didn't think this was necessarily the X-Mansion.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously, I do think it's a facility.
Right.
But no.
Okay.
I didn't think it was the X-Mansion.
Okay. That's got me. Yeah. That makes me feel a little better then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was imagining that place as if it was the X-Mansion. It's like, ooh, how are we going to turn this over? How are we going to turn this from the X-Mansion into Luigi's fucking haunted house,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it looked pretty good. I was happy to see Macy Williams and a couple of other names. The kid from Stranger Things. I don't recognize them yet, so I need to definitely refamiliarize myself with the New Mutants and become more in tune with like what these characters are and what they can do.
Yeah.
But I'm anxious. I want to see it. I really do. Like you've taunted me with it for too long now. How about you, dude?
No, I actually really enjoyed this trailer. I thought there was a lot of cool elements to it. They are really leaning heavily into the horror element, but they're also applying the same mutant thesis that we get from the X-Men films. So that's really cool. And on top of that, this seems like a horror-esque coming-of-age story, but with superpowers.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool concept. I know this movie has changed directors a time or two since they began filming.
Twice? Really?
I don't know how many times.
Oof, okay. Interesting.
I mean, it may just be once, but
okay.
But regardless, I know they've gone through some production changes, some rewrites, and they refilmed some things, reshoots. But this trailer does really good. It looks really promising. That's not to say that I haven't been fooled by a trailer before, but that is to say that I do want to be cautiously optimistic about this.
Same here. Yeah. That's a perfect way to put it, dude. So I'm looking up the cast real quick just to familiarize myself, because whenever
Anna Taylor-Joy as Magic, and I think that has a lot of potential to be really cool.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Magic too much in the comics, but here I know in the trailer. One example, if you guys haven't seen it yet, this isn't a big spoiler because it's all in the trailer. But we go into this one scene which almost looks more like an AA meeting of sorts. Like, hi, my name is such and such. No crosstalk allowed. There's bad coffee for free over there with some dried out donuts. And then,
well, I will say this: she is Colossus' sister, and so I know there's a lot of talk about potential X-Men lead-ins and other cameos and whatnot.
I doubt it.
I mean, as far as like the X-Men go, I mean, it's just I don't know.
I guess.
At this point, with the new Fox properties being owned by Disney or the new merger deal, they probably nixed any of those type cameos. But I mean,
it's not unheard of. It's not implausible. But I know that in the AA meeting, she looked like the one character who definitely seemed, I guess, blatantly proud of her revealing powers. Like, oh, I killed 18 men, just slaughtered them one by one. And it's like, oh fuck, this is gonna be a little interesting, and it's got me, like you said, cautiously optimistic and curious. So yeah, I'm really anxious to see what goes down there. Yeah.
I won't say the name because I'm not entirely certain on it. I don't think it was Roy Thomas, but I forget which writer really took this.
Never mind. Okay.
I forgot which writer took this franchise, the New Mutants, and really turned them into more of a horror genre. But yeah, that was really when they began to come into their own as like a team, and then really when they began to grow in popularity. Because I mean, before that, they were just like another X team. And let's be honest, guys, if you grew up reading comics in like the 80s and 90s, particularly Marvel X series, then you know that there was a fucking X book for everything: X Factor, Excalibur, X Force, X-Men, and then you got New Mutants, and hell, even Alpha Flight. I mean, all these spinoffs and just different mutant groups, and it just becomes a fucking not really like a headache to keep up with, but goddamn, it's just like
Excalibur. That was kind of a cool name.
Yeah, I mentioned that one.
You did? Oh, okay, I didn't hear it. Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh my gosh, what the fuck? Like, how can you differentiate these groups besides who's in them? What makes them different besides the team members? And then the New Mutants, they got like a, not really a reboot, but I guess a soft reboot. And now they're this horror, almost a horror type ragtag team. And I mean, and it worked. It worked really good. And I know, I mean, as far as like, I think that the movie has potential. And so let's fucking hope that they knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
I do think it's also interesting that at least from the trailers, I didn't pick up any vibes or hints from like a serious villain, but we know that there's a looming threat. What do you think that could be?
I have no idea yet. Yeah. And I noticed that if you guys do decide to watch the trailer after listening to the episode here, I noticed that they're very careful in revealing what character can do what. Like, we don't get to see the powers, which would obviously be a huge flashing hint card telling us who they are, I'm kind of grateful for that. Like, I want to go into this, like I used to try to do back when I could, where it's like, nah, let me know as little as possible. So I have no idea who the threat could be.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a couple of options in my mind, but I doubt I'm gonna guess right. We'll see.
Same here. I mean, the part of me that's cautiously optimistic is hoping that it's Mr. Sinister. I mean,
it makes too much sense. That was the first one on my mind. If not him, then maybe like a Hellfire Club, the Black King, or something like that. I don't remember his name.
Sebastian Shaw.
There you go. Yeah, maybe. But
that'd be. I mean, because like this movie is in such a weird limbo between Fox and Disney.
Right,
it'd be weird because it's like technically this character died in First Class, Sebastian Shaw. So
good point, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting if, but I mean, the Hellfire Club obviously would be really cool.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, the Hellfire Club would have also been a really cool and canonically correct thing to do for Dark Phoenix, but that's a whole different story.
Yep. Wait, we almost took a wrong turn. Let's
yep,
get back on the road here. Let's turn it back. Let's not wreck.
Almost turned off on the wrong X-Men Avenue.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I think that you and I are probably both on the same page on this one. Like, it looks, the trailer looked really good, but I think also they knew it had to look really good.
They knew it had to after all the I guess all the teasing and all the postponing and whatever rehiring of directors this movie gone through. I will end on this though. The first name that you mentioned, the one that came to my mind as well, Mr. Sinister, that is too perfect. Like, if I had to place these guys in trophies, sure, Hellfire Club would be pretty dope and they'd get a trophy, but fucking Mr. Sinister would be platinum. That would be my choice. Oh yeah, you know, he's got too many vibes for him. That would make him the man.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay.
And I guess I will say this also. So a lot of people are still really downplaying this movie, and if you're one of those people, hey, I don't blame you. There's a lot of reasons too. Yeah. But a lot of people are downplaying this movie because they feel like because it is in such a state of weird limbo where they don't really have access to their Fox counterparts anymore because they're all absolved by Disney. And while this film was technically made under the Fox banner, it's going to be released technically as a pseudo Disney product because they're still properties, but they don't have access to any of the MCU characters either. And so they're kind of like stranded off on an island.
Yeah, that's really politically weird, you know, politically as far as we always talk about, guys. I mean, that's... I hope this movie does well so that the second movie will have access to more. Yeah. Because, you know, afterwards, it's like, okay, this is officially our wheelhouse. We can give them blank, 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 you know? Yeah. That'd be cool.
My whole thing, though, was that with all that being said, I think that it's a potential benefit because that means that you're not looking forward to potential things you can do in the future. You're not trying to cram any of that in there. True. You're just trying to tell your own standalone story with these characters, and I think that sense of paranoia and lonesomeness can really help with the horror vibe. So I mean, I look at it as a potential upside. I mean, because it seems like it's been a while since we really had like a superhero franchise that didn't have anyone else to potentially call out to or rely on. And so
that's a cool thought of frame of thought as well. Yeah, let me twist my words around.
Hell yeah! But here's 2 New Mutants, and hopefully their April release.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah, that's it's 3 months away, I guess, technically.
Yeah, it's gonna go by quick.
Yeah.
Montage.
Let's see. I'll do the next one here.
Please.
The Dark Knight Rises has been crowned Best Movie of the Decade in a Lad Bible poll.
Cool.
Yes. So this is really interesting, and what made it really cool was that like this poll it looks like it was technically user based. So the fans technically voted this in, and it wasn't like, it seemed to be more like a tournament style bracket poll, more so than like a long list and you just click and vote. But it looks like it beat out other movies like, you guys know what came out this past decade,
right?
Yeah. But it was and it wasn't just amongst superhero movies; it was amongst all the movies that came out. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's flattering.
It is. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh yeah, I mean, who is?
If you guys didn't know,
yeah, dude, that's hella dope.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Shout out to The Dark Knight Rises.
Hell yeah.
And Chris Nolan and the entire Dark Knight trilogy and cast. You guys earned it.
Hell yeah. Speaking of DC and other news, I got some cool stuff here. So this is actually a memory kick. For those of you who have been dedicated homies listening for a good long time now, you would have heard Q and I talking about an old favorite villain who doesn't get enough light, who's about to get the fucking light again, and I'm excited. Tom King, the one and only, the writer, the badass Batman guy for DC right now, one of the Batman guys, excuse me, is bringing back Phantasm.
Oh.
Fuck yeah, dude. So he's about to start another series called Batman Catwoman. And in that series, he is promising to bring back the villain Phantasm. Now, guys, some of you are cheering like, oh, hell yeah, Phantasm. Some of you are scratching your heads. Who the fuck is Phantasm? Why is this such a big deal to Kevin and Q? Well, to answer that question, Phantasm was a one-and-done villain that was done in an animated VHS movie. It was that old of a movie, Cam. It came out on VHS for Batman.
Mask of the Phantasm.
The Mask of the Phantasm. And that was super cool. The villain was dope. The villain was such a great threat to Batman. The villain had this cool mystique element to them. It was awesome. Cannot wait for that. That's going to be really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool news. I didn't hear about that. That's super cool. I am curious to see how Tom King kind of reinvents this character and utilizes them.
Yeah, because I remember crucial elements from the movie. I'm curious if he's going to keep some of those or if he's going to re-roll the die. You know, I trust Tom though because he's done some very great writing.
Yeah,
he's done some mad stuff too, as we've made fun of on the air. Trust us. But he's also done some. Oh man, this is golden.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's I guess what I'm really wondering is how. Not to say that he can't do it because obviously he has an idea,
right?
But I am curious to see how he makes a character like that viable in 2020. Not that the character is dated, no, it's just that with the movie was perfect in a lot of ways. It was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
But
I hope it's on DC Universe. It has to be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. If you guys want to treat yourself to that.
It is really one of those things though, where like once that cat is out of the bag. As far as who the Phantasm is, then where do you really go from there, and what do you do with that character? Most times we kind of wag our fingers at villains being one and done, and then that's it. But the cool thing about this character was that Phantasm worked best as a one and done because, just the way that whole story wrapped up with Bruce Wayne finally finding love, and then with the Phantasm showing up, and then with him finally realizing maybe I don't have to be the Batman anymore, maybe I can be happy. And then of course you get the mind-blowing revelation as to who the Phantasm is at the end, and it's this whole cool ordeal, and it's like, well, I don't really know how you top that. And because obviously you have to reinvent the character, right?
I think he
audience,
is. I honestly expect him to. I expect him to probably take a few details, but not every detail. I don't expect another Mask of the Phantasm. I have faith in him because Tom King has done some creative stuff. Kite Man, he made Kite Man relevant.
It's a small thing, but it's a big thing.
It is. So I totally agree with you. There needs to be a little bit of change. Like you can't just hand me the same deck and say let's play a game. No, you got to shuffle that shit up. But I'm anxious to see what happens, man. I have no idea when Batman Catwoman is going to be released as a series.
I thought February.
That's cool.
So.
That's sooner than I anticipated. Hell yeah.
I could be super wrong on that, but I thought February.
I'll look it up real quick. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Next up, I have this, and this has been interesting here. So I want to get your thoughts on this. But
sure.
Kevin Feige says that Scarlet Witch is the most powerful hero in the MCU.
Wait a minute.
So yeah, now it's clicking. Now you're getting it. Yeah.
No. First off, wait. This is bullshit. Kevin Feige, bruh, you are great at planning shit and marketing shit, and you have been a blessing on the Marvel universe for numerous reasons. You're gonna go down in history. You already made the race. Well done. You won at life. What? First off, you said Captain Marvel, the Brie Larson version, the MCU, that version, whatever you want to call it, your vote, that was the most powerful, and now we're going to Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow being the most powerful.
What? No, I said Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Oh, excuse me. I heard Scarlett Johansson. That's why I reacted. Wow. I need some more caffeine. Scarlet Witch? Actually, no. I'm going to pump off the gas pedal of like reaction on that a little bit and hit the brakes. Because I can kind of see it. Only because, we know the stories. Homies, we talked about one great graphic novel in the past, House of M. That's gonna be like the primary, like foundational brick that I can see supporting him for that statement. little column A, little column B, mixed feelings nonetheless. But I don't like disagree with him like I thought. Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. Like I thought for a second, like, oh fuck, man, you're just trying to push for the movie. But no, Scarlet Witch being the most powerful. I mean, I don't disagree, but I don't fully agree either. Yeah.
So
what about you?
I'll read the quote here. So he was participating in a Q&A with the New York Film Academy, and it's here where Kevin Feige says he was being asked about who he thought the strongest Marvel hero was, and he says, well, I think it's interesting if you look at Endgame. Wanda Maximoff was going to kill Thanos. If he hadn't desperately, that's as scared as I've ever seen Thanos, and if he hadn't said, decimate my entire team to get her off of me, I think she would have done it. End quote. And so, yeah, there in that quote there, he says that, yeah, he thinks that Scarlet Witch is the most powerful character in the MCU. Now that is an interesting contrast to what he said a year or so ago when he stated that Captain Marvel was the most powerful character in the MCU. Now, you can put your tinfoil hats on with me if you guys want to, or you cannot.
Okay.
So I think that the baseline simple answer to this is Kevin Feige just really likes to, he's trying to market this. Like maybe he knew, because originally, Kevin, when he said that Captain Marvel was the most powerful, in the MCU, or most powerful character.
Yeah.
He also said that he said something along the lines of, "I'm really excited to have this character introduced. Carol Danvers is one of the most popular characters. She's one of the most powerful." Neither of those were true. Carol Danvers, it's never. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong. I mean, not everybody can fucking sell like name your top tier comic book characters. I mean,
Sure.
not everybody can sell like that, but it's nothing more than like a bold-faced lie if you look at sales alone to say that she's the most popular when sales would dictate otherwise as far as her comic series go, as far as her repeated #1 issues, her repeated series restarts from issue #1s. Like, that's a lot. So I think the simple answer would be to say that, okay, yeah, he's doing this to build up hype and to market and to get people excited for things to come. But on the other hand, it's like, if you put on your tinfoil hats with me, I think that maybe he and the MCU were all gung-ho on Captain Marvel.
Well, please continue, Finn. Yeah.
But maybe in lieu of maybe Brie Larson's own actions and things that she said to kind of shed a negative light on her, or maybe the fact that while the movie was definitely a commercial success, critically didn't sit right with a lot of audience members. Maybe they decided to pump the brakes on that. I still keep your tinfoil hats on for me here. I personally think that she had a lot more film for Endgame that they realized at the last moment, we do not need more of her in here. That's personally what I think.
Well, personally, I fully agree with you. I'd be interested in seeing some of that just to see how shitty Endgame could have gone.
Goddamn.
Right? Like, which alternate universe was pissed off? But which alternate universe got the Force Awakens of Endgame, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. Oof. But to wear a tinfoil hat, you have to be partly crazy. And honestly, none of that sounds crazy to me. Because Kevin Feige obviously is, he's a marketing genius at this point. He's done exceptionally well with the MCU. He's done extraordinary things with it. I think you're right that this is him just kind of like really knowing how to be. Help me out, Paul Raymond, the Paul Raymond of the MCU.
Paul Raymond.
Fuck, I know I got the name wrong. Help me out. You're wrestling, man. Help me.
Oh, Paul Heyman.
Heyman. Replace the R with the H. Wrong consonant.
Gotcha.
But yeah. The Paul Heyman of the MCU. He's like, he's changing his Brock Lesnar. He's like, okay, this one's not ready anymore. Get ready for the Scarlet Witch.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But I thought it's a really interesting thing because, first of all, when he was asked the question, he could have just said, "Oh, well, I've stated in the past that, I think that
Captain Marvel, blah blah blah." But he did.
But here's the thing, though. If you go back, because I did, if you go back and listen or watch the video of when he first said that Captain Marvel is the most powerful, he said it definitively. Not opinionated. It was like a fucking fact for the MCU. But now, less than a year later, to hear him say this is pretty telling to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you could argue, well, maybe it's to get more hype on Wanda for WandaVision and for Doctor Strange 2. While that could be the case, those are on the horizon, but they're not right around the corner.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm really curious to see exactly what... I want to see more progress on Captain Marvel 2 and really the route they go with that. I think...
Yeah, no, dumb question. I have to admit. So I was thinking to myself, like, wait, are they making a Captain Marvel too? Well, no, dumb question. Yeah, things sell.
Yeah, that's. I think it's coming out in the same phase as Black Panther 2, so it'll be around that one. Yeah.
Well, Black Panther 2, dope. I'm just teasing, guys. You know us. Yeah, we've drilled into the ground long enough.
Yeah. But, this really isn't so much to shit on Captain Marvel as much as it is to try to figure out why the sudden change of heart.
Yeah. Strategically, it's interesting. I'd be interested in hearing what Kevin Feige says in the future, because who knows? In the future, he might say Black Panther's the best, the strongest MCU character. And it's like, oh, well, that's ironic, because Black Panther 2 comes out in a few months. Who knows? Because you might be around the money. It kind of feels like Occam's razor at this point, that is the simplest, so chances are it's probably the most true. But I don't know. It's a interesting factoid to bring out.
Yeah. I mean, because,
especially because you're right. He said definitively,
yes,
Captain Marvel's the strongest. Oh, Kevin. Ooh, no, bruh.
And see, now, and tighten on those tinfoil hats here now. See.
Let me grab some more aluminum foil here. Gotta twist it around the sides.
Because here's where things get interesting, guys. For those of you homies out there who are also comic readers, particularly Marvel comic readers, you may have been reading more with the Avengers or with Captain Marvel here lately, and I think that this was in plan before Kevin Feige took complete control of Marvel, period. But as of lately, Captain Marvel has received a serious power upgrade. Whereas beforehand, in the comics, no, she wasn't nearly on the power of a Thor, of a fucking raged out Hulk. She wasn't on power to tank a direct hit from Thanos. She wasn't on par with any of that, and all of that was strictly made for the MCU. But now here recently, she's gone through this bit of an alteration, a bit of a change, and she has beaten Thor. She's gotten this serious power upgrade here recently, and she's just working her way and beating the Avengers, and they made it a clear point to start her off by defeating who is clearly one of the strongest heroes in the Marvel universe, Thor. So they're trying to really make a statement here, and
I'm not for that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like why does she have to be the strongest? Why do you have to? I mean, if you're thinking that it's going to help her become more popular, or maybe just looking for cohesiveness, maybe since it's been introduced in your movie universe, now you want that to be, the kind of the flag bearer for the entire Marvel properties.
So I'm not going to be. I'm about to make a slightly poetic statement here, okay? So I will not be like the other Kevin, the more popular and powerful Kevin Feige. I will not make such a definitive statement. However, I will boldly proclaim my opinion. As of recent years, there have not been as many strong Marvel productions in the comic industry, in the comic book industry, that is, that there have been in the DC industry. I think, even though people might argue DC movies aren't as strong in the MCU as the MCU movies, which I could argue in a degree as far as popularity goes. No, you're probably right. MCU trumps most fucking everything.
Yeah.
I digress, though. DC Comics right now, I would argue, could run laps around Marvel Comics as far as quality, as far as writing content goes and everything there. I mean, and the reason I bring that up is because of the exact thing you said, is the exact thing that worries me constantly about the Marvel Universe. We spoke about this almost 2 years ago in one of our earliest episodes. Man, I'm calling back a lot of shit tonight. I'm in flashback mode. No wonder I'm getting Scarlet's confused. But one of the earliest things that we talked about was are the movies good for the comics?
Oh yeah.
And in this case right now, no. Marvel is not good for the comics. Because if you walk into a comic shop, sure, you'll see a lot of options. You see a lot of new colorful things coming from Dark Horse and DC and Marvel and all these other productions and whatnot. Valiant, all these cool houses. But a lot of Marvel shit, you're going to see Guardians of the blah, blah, blah. You're going to see other Guardians, blah, blah, blah. Old Man, Peter Quill. And it's like, we're really just rehashing the same marketing shit. You know, and this Captain Marvel, like building all your comics from the movies, it's
yeah.
You're recycling the same coil that you just burnt in your train engine back into the train engine, and that's not how it works.
Yes, I mean, yeah, you're right. You know, I think ultimately
Caboose. That's what that's called, a caboose.
And not to go off too far on a tangent here, but
I did. Excuse me.
I would say, with the exception, and I hate to say this, with the exception of Brian Michael Bendis' work in DC has been pretty damn well. Brian Michael Bendis has his work in DC hasn't been up to par,
which is pretty ironic because Brian Michael Bendis has done some cool things for Marvel.
I mean, his work in DC, Kevin, has gotten to the point where people are starting to think, was all of his good work just a fluke? Yeah, and that's bad because first of all, I don't think that's true.
No, wait, give me an example because I'm curious what's recent in DC that causes such a controversial statement.
So it's been a couple of things. One hasn't really affected me as a comic reader that much. The other has, and I can definitely sympathize with the former. So pretty much from the jump with DC Rebirth, he took control. He jumped ship from Marvel to DC, and they gave him control of one of the biggest comic series ever, Superman.
Yeah,
they gave him control of Superman, and I also think they gave him control of Action Comics. That's kind of like
I think so.
That's like they'd be like the same thing as like Tom King running Batman and Detective Comics.
Right.
It's like that's fucking huge because that's both flagship Batman books.
Right. Yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis has control of basically both flagship.
I mean,
Superman.
Action was to Superman's origin as Detective Comics was to Batman's origin.
Yeah.
You know, so that's those fucking heavy names. They're big old fat hitters. Yeah. So respectively, that's a lot of applause to Bendis. But you're saying that his recent stuff has been
not great. And I could be wrong. Maybe he only has control of one. But they gave him a really major Superman book.
Sure.
And he's and I've looked at his work here because I've wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And it's not good. I do not have it here.
Okay. I was wondering because, guys, as you know, Q has such an extensive library of books, comic books in definition. And I look often to see like what I'm going to read next. And I'm looking now to see we don't have any Michael Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis in the new 52 Superman.
I mean, all of stuff tends to be pretty new because Okay. But so what he's done is that one book that I haven't finished yet, but I've really been praising is Super Sons. And this Super Sons is technically a new 52 property.
Yeah.
And it's with obviously young Damian Wayne and young John Kent. Of course, John Kent being the son of Superman, not the pseudo father.
Cool.
And that's a really fun book because you get to see these two young boys who are so different, but yet they learn pretty much how to be superheroes together. And it's a really good story. Now, one thing that people don't like is just to make it short, because there's a lot of fucking comic history to lead up to it, but Superman and Lois essentially let their young, like 8-year-old son go off with a crazed version of Superman's real dad, Jor-El. They let him run off with a crazed version of him to go learn what it is to be a Kryptonian, to be a man, or some crazy bullshit. They just let that happen. When he comes back, he's like 17 years old. They purposely aged John Kent when they were like, but wait, what does that do to the Super Sons? That kills the Super Sons. So that's one thing people don't like. They also don't like, just in general, how he's written for Superman. They think, or it's been said that the way that Lois has been written recently has been like she's just in it for the story. I mean, it seems like she whored out her son to Jor-El just so she can get a story. I don't want my son to go with this man, but think of the story, Clark. This would be great. It's been really weird. So he's kind of set Lois back a degree, it seems, by making her a more one-dimensional character who cares only about getting the scoop more so than the multifaceted character that's been built over the years.
I obviously I would need to like kind of glance at that and read a lot of those passages myself to really develop my opinion.
Yeah.
Off the cuff, that is rough around the edges. It sounds like, but I'm going to refrain from voting yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Not that this requires a vote.
No,
this is all, however, just an opinionated discussion, of course.
Yeah.
Which is really being led off of a really like, forgive the sirens in the background. We're getting caught. You know, this is yeah, just kind of really going off of a small statement we began with, like, Scarlet Witch being voted most popular. Like, somehow we ended up on Lois Lane and Brian fucking Michael Bendis.
Oh, this is what happens to the homies.
This is what happens. Everyone, you're no strangers to this.
But just really quick, the other thing he did, and there's more things he's done with Superman, but just suffice it to say, Superman fans are not happy with his run. They want him out. But the other thing he's done, though, is he has been writing some Timothy Drake. Doing a lot of work with Tim Drake and of course Red Robin,
right.
Who is no longer Red Robin. He has put aside that identity. He is now simply Drake, like the duck Drake, and his last name Drake. Duck is a bird, Drake. So he is now just Drake with this really drab brown outfit.
That's
now
kind of lame.
It's kind of lame.
Gonna be scared of that.
Right.
Batman is face palming right now. It's like, no, we said theatricality and deception. Neither of this is not working. Okay,
this is not.
This is not it.
Yeah,
you're failing.
Yes, and I've been worried about Tim Drake honestly since Rebirth when I haven't seen him associate as much with the Bat family as the other members do. You know, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure that Tim's fine. Tim is one of my favorite, DC characters. He's a great Robin.
I mean, admittedly, if you had to ask me which Robin is the least interesting of them, I know the least of Tim Drake. So naturally, it'd be Tim Drake because one became Nightwing, which is fucking dope, and then one became Red Hood, which is also fucking dope, and then one is Damian Wayne, who's like the estranged son of what'd you say? Talia al Ghul and Bruce Wayne? What?
Yeah.
And then we got Tim Drake, who dated Oracle. Yep.
In a Batman game. Yes.
That's true. Excuse me. In a Batman game. Yeah. But and in his dreams. But yeah.
Yeah. They did a spoiler in the comic. Anyways, I mean, a lot of this shit though was written by actually in the Grant Morrison run. That's where we get a lot of Tim Drake stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Really, and okay. I mean both before and after that, but
interesting.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Tim Drake's got the short end of the stick too by Brian Michael Bendis, and fans are, you guessed it, not happy.
Damn.
So yeah,
but that's a bit of news too, actually. So that was kind of a twofer.
It was kind of a twofer. Yeah,
we developed it.
Yeah. With all that being said, I think that Scarlet Witch is a much better candidate for the most powerful character in the MCU.
Agreed.
Seeing that there's actual merit for that in the comics.
Guys, and of course, because this has been my pattern tonight, I guess, if you're curious as to why we believe that, definitely scroll back in our history, in our catalog of episodes, and find the one where we review the graphic novel House of M, which is ironically Brian Michael Bendis as well.
It is.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's done a lot of great fucking work in the past.
Yeah, and that's a great book. It's one of my favorites. But
if you look at it, one of the last things he did for DC, or for Marvel, or towards the end of his tenure at Marvel,
Civil War II,
which was not a good one.
We're shaking our heads. Yeah, we're shaking our heads, guys. We didn't like it.
Not good. And also, ironically enough, who was one of the lead characters in that? Captain Marvel. See, everything is wrapping together.
It's a conspiracy. Where's my tinfoil hat? I need it.
We don't know what the conspiracy is, but there's one.
There is one.
Yeah.
All right. Going back a few pages, we talked about this a little bit. Ironically, this is still kind of on point with what we just discussed. So Disney Plus and Disney kind of released some cool news talking about how, one thing I was upset about is that I got a free year subscription and I wanted to see some of those Marvel properties come out and take the throne after The Mandalorian, but we weren't seeing many of them until 2021 or even later. But But check this cool thing out. Apparently, WandaVision moved up in their release date. So instead of a 2021 release, they're getting a 2020 release date, which is super exciting to me because that means I actually get to see it. Booyah. With my free subscription. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have they said when in 2020?
Yep. No idea. I have no fucking clue. I wish. Yeah. I thought you were gonna ask me when in 2020, just without without that being in front of it, and I was prepared to go like, oh yeah, no. But anyways,
but no, that is interesting news, especially in lieu of what we just talked about.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to WandaVision. I mean, we're gonna get Paul Bettany back as Vision.
Hell yeah.
And the setup for that really does make me think, once again, this is like our fourth time mentioning this, it makes me think of House of M. If you've seen like the logo picture they have for WandaVision right now, it's really like it looks almost like a super old school sitcom-y type feel where you have a human looking Vision. It's almost like it was in Infinity War. A human looking Vision sitting on a couch, and he's sitting next to Wanda, and they both look so extremely happy. It looks like a sitcom, and they're not going for a sitcom vibe for the show, but that picture is going for that kind of vibe.
Yeah, and, almost like it's a feel good, like, oh, look at our great life.
Right. Yeah.
Which, if you read the graphic novel, that's exactly what the fuck it was. Yeah.
And so if they are drawing any inspiration from House of M for this, or even from the events that take place right after Avengers Disassemble, like when they first come back in the new Avengers run, which is also written by fucking Bendis.
Wow.
But at the beginning of that, really is where we also see a lot of her meltdown and the I mean, so I do wonder if there's going to be a connection between WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, because she's going to be in that too. Like, is Doctor Strange going to take the role of Professor X and put that mental block on her? Like, is she going to go crazy?
That would be fascinating.
Yeah.
That would.
Yeah.
Oh, because we kind of already see an element to that here. I remember in the graphic novel, some great dialogue where Doctor Strange was just like, "Look, I am the Sorcerer Supreme. There's no fucking thing as chaos magic.
What is this bullshit?
That's bullshit. That doesn't make any sense." He goes and visits Wanda. Okay, yeah, no, there's fucking chaos magic.
Right. I don't know what the fuck that is, but
chaos magic is actually a pretty dope name. We're gonna run with it. That's exact wording, by the way. Always.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I'm excited for that because obviously I want to see Disney Plus's energy and their motivation that they put into the Mandalorian. By the way, which will be Patreon very soon. Sign up before you miss it. Yeah, I want to see that same energy and devotion put into WandaVision and the rest of these Marvel Disney Plus properties.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely, man, because, but like with WandaVision, man, one thing that a lot of people really haven't spoken about, us included, is what's going to be the premise of WandaVision.
Yep.
I mean, because, like, it looks like Vision's dead. We know that. And she is heartbroken about it. And we know that, too.
Yeah.
So
but is she going? He's in the name.
Yeah. Is she going to recreate Vision, and is that going to be like the lead up for Wanda? This isn't real. You made him. Like, this is just like.
I would love that. I would. Oh,
that'd be great. That'd be some good shit.
That would be some good shit.
But can you make an entire TV series around it? Like, the only thing I can think is if you go like a Legion type route where almost you think that, okay, no, Vision's alive, and then you get comfortable with that idea 6 episodes in, okay, I guess Vision's fucking alive. And then, maybe the looming threat isn't a threat, but it's Doctor Strange from the outside knocking in saying, hey, Wanda, no, this isn't real.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be fascinating. Yeah. What I worry about is if Disney Plus is the right platform for that. Because that's a big point. Because that it's a dark story. Is Disney Plus going to kind of let loose a seatbelt enough so the kiddie seat can get the fuck out of the way and we can actually get a more grown-up, darker story like that? Because that's what I want from my WandaVision, not this feel-good, like, want to come back from a commercial break, and now you're watching Disney Plus and the little magic wand draw out something, Yeah. That's a callback.
It said Wanda doesn't need a wand. She can do it.
She does it with her own like little glowing hands. Right. Yeah. Chaos bolts. Yeah. But hex bolts. That's what they're called. Hex bolts. Yep. But yeah, man, I'm anticipating. We'll see.
Yeah,
see.
we'll
Obviously, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're gonna review it. So we'll let you guys know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up here, Deadpool 3 is officially in development.
We do have very different announcements. Actually, this is really good.
This is good.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
So unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of news on that. It's just they finally started development on it.
Good.
And so and I guess that's just to kind of put at ease if there was any kind of concern with the Deadpool property. But not only is Deadpool going to be made, but like apparently it's a priority because it's already in development now.
Good.
So that means right now it's getting the treatment for the script, and of course, so they're gonna.
Is Ryan Reynolds producing again? Do we know? Because I feel like he can't not produce at this point.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're trying to make that as seamless a transition as possible. So
okay.
So that's
interesting.
good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I know I think he did lose his director. And I think that was in partly due because Ryan Reynolds is so hands on, and I think it's because like he's so passionate. Not that he's such an asshole about it, but that's what I like to believe.
I don't envision him. I mean, we know he can be an asshole, but we know that if he was, it was going to be in defense of the character and of the quality of the movie.
Right.
Because he's always been gun-ho, a super nerd like us, but actually in the right position about it.
Yeah. So I think it was Tim Miller, but I don't think Tim Miller is returning for 3.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've only heard rumors. I haven't heard anything like that. But in like mind, what's up? Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say I mean, while we don't know a lot about it, a fanboy like myself can dream and hope. Right. I hope that we can get a Spider-Man cameo. That'd be super fucking fun.
His favorite Avenger.
Yes. Yeah. One could hope that. I'll even take. This is where we get Wolverine's first appearance, in the MCU. Yeah.
I think Ryan would only take it if it was Hugh.
That's true. That is very true.
It would have to be Hugh.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man.
I mean, they have a lot of things they could do. I would dig an Omega Red. I think that Deadpool versus Omega Red.
Man, how many times have we raved about Omega Red on this show?
All the time.
We want that shit so bad.
Yes, Omega Red, Mr. Sinister, and Doctor Doom. We have just fanboyed all over these villains.
We have to have a celebration episode if we get all 3. Because at that point, we got the Bermuda Triangle of villains. And that's going to be the episode name. The Bermuda Villains. Coining it now. Click. It's done. Copyright.
I have to find a picture like those 3 in particular on a beach shore lounging out. That's going to be next to impossible.
Omega Red with like the coconut beverage in his tentacle.
And his tendril thing wrapped up.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
A Doombot coming with like a little tuxedo and cummerbund. But anyways, in like fashion, in another bit of news on the other side of the railway there, the Batman movie. We actually... If you go to Google now, you can actually look up images from the streets of Gotham in the movie, which is fascinating. And I did want to look this up to add to that because that's I can't really expound on that sentence too much. Like, cool, we have pictures. Good shit. But I do want to expound on the cast and what we know about them so far and how excited I am for this movie because they seem to have such a strong build of cast members already, and that puts a lot of power for me. Obviously, we all know about Robert Pattinson becoming Batman. This is happening, okay?
Right.
And we've heard some great things, and we've heard some iffy things on this, and I'm just ready to see it finally, to see what happens. We got Andy Serkis as Alfred. We got Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, which I'm very intrigued at that one. That's going to be interesting. Colin Farrell as Penguin. Paul Dano as Riddler, and of course, most recently, according to my knowledge, Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. And that one I cannot fucking wait for. Yeah. That's going to be... Jeffrey Wright, guys, was awesome in so many things. Yeah. My favorite experience with him has been definitely Westworld.
Yeah.
Get out of my brain. Get out of my brain. Get out. Stop saying things at the same time as me. You're great, brother. You're great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that's already a knockdown cast. You put those guys in a room together, and I'm feeling pretty confident.
Same here.
Robert Pattinson was one of the names I felt iffy on, only because when I think that, obviously, I'm like most of the other population out there who thinks Twilight. Like, wait, what? But he's got other catalogs. He's got other shit.
Yes.
We already talked about that. Yeah.
He recently did a movie with Willem Dafoe called Lighthouse, and I've heard nothing but amazing things, and I really want to see it, but it has such a small release. Now I'm gonna have to look elsewhere to see where I can find it. But
bootleg. We don't encourage that.
But that's one I got to check out. Just to kind of add to that news, Kevin, there is actually another photo released just today of Robert Pattinson on a motorcycle. This is for the set of the movie. Ooh. And he was in a lot of garb, a lot of drab. None of it looked like Batman gear, but he was covered pretty good. Okay. And a lot of people got.
You think it'd be Joe Chill? Since this is more of a detective route, Joe Chill?
No, it was Robert Pattinson.
Right. No. I mean, what was Batman's hobo name?
Oh,
no, it wasn't Joe Chill. Excuse me.
Matches Malone.
Yeah. Damn, how can I forget that? That was a great name. Matches Malone. Joe Chill was Mr. Douchebag. Parents. Yep. That's right. Which is also, Joe Chill. Yeah. Yeah. Now, anyways, jokes made.
Now, the reason why a lot of people are really interested in this picture is because of Pattinson on the motorcycle and all the garb is because it's reminding them of a run in the New 52 written by Scott Snyder. In that run, 0 Year. It's the 0 Year run, actually. It's a 2-part miniseries in the New 52. And this is the one where Riddler technically wins. Fucking Gotham is ruined. And it's kind of reset back. It feels a little bit like No Man's Land, just a little bit for those of you who read that classic. But it's over here. Yeah, I know. All the books now.
Now we moved half the fucking books to a new bookshelf. Like the old bookshelf, we had one big one, guys, and it was starting to creak. Like if we grabbed at a book, if we just started pulling at it, and it's like shaking half the bookshelf. It's like, okay, this is about to break. Yeah. And half the shelves actually, like the pegs look worn down. So we gave the bookshelf a vacation.
But in the 0 Year book, this is one where Gotham is like it's without power, and it's been some time, and it's one of those cool stories where Batman kind of goes back to like grassroots. He gets the purple gloves again. He goes sleeveless for a bit, and we see him on a motorcycle, and it's one of those kind of famous, cool looking covers. And one of those cool things that happens in the run. And so when a lot of people saw Pattinson on this, they were thinking, well, Riddler's in the movie. And we so they're putting things together, trying to figure out. So are they going to go for like a 0 Year vibe a little bit? Are they like what's going on? I mean, honestly, it's probably nothing to do with 0 Year, but it's still cool to think about.
Yeah, definitely. I like that, dude. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. I got a good 3 more on my end here. Cool. I think we got one that we share. I don't. I'll go ahead and mention it and see if that's one that you got too. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama at the Golden Globes Award. Woo. Now, he also won, or Todd Phillips and Joaquin and all of them won a homie for Joker, which is obviously way more prestigious. For those of you who don't know what a homie award is, definitely check out the Superhero Homies Award 2019.
Yep,
came out
last episode of 2019.
Yes, that it was. It was actually, I think Harley Quinn ended and started the year.
Damn it. Yeah, you're probably right. It's one of the biggest episodes in December, damn it.
Yes.
Our award ceremony.
Yep. Our award ceremony is one of the biggest things of December.
It is. Christmas, then us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know. But I think we're neck and neck with Christmas. I mean, you don't have to spend any...
No. Oh, neck and neck. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, I was putting Christmas first, but yeah. I guess you don't have to spend money with us on that one. Yeah. No. Yeah.
All you got to do is, if you want to, go to patreon.com/superhero homies, and that way you guys can get off our cool content, including The Mandalorian coming up, The Witcher, we're covering Bad Boys 3, The Gentleman, we just did The Grudge, Star Wars, and there's a whole lot of more cool content at patreon.com/superhero homies.
Take a breath. That was a good one. Good spot. We love you guys. But yeah, man, that's exciting. He deserved it, you know.
Yeah.
Joaquin, he deserved the Homie and the Golden Globe.
Yep, he won a Homie for Best Story, by the way.
Yep.
But no, he won Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama at the Golden Globes Award. That's really cool. And yeah, you're right. He absolutely deserved it because he nailed it.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear his acceptance speech?
I didn't listen to it. I saw a lot of clickbait talking about like lots of F-bombs dropped in the speech, blah, 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 but
I think it was
didn't
like
listen to
3.
it. 3?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was an exaggeration. 3 is not that bad. Shoot, I say 3 in one sentence sometimes. But
It may have been more, but yeah. I think it was around that number. But,
okay, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was. A lot of people are making a big deal about his acceptance speech, and I think it's just because of the language, but like the actual content of his speech was, you know,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything bad like anger or rage. It was just like him saying, "Hey, what's up? I'm so fucking happy I got this award." Stuff like that. I imagine.
Yeah. It would have been cool if he said, I've deserved this award for a really long time, and it's about time that somebody finally gave me my roses, gave me my flowers. I worked really hard on this, but you know what happens when you turn your back on the actor for years and years and don't give him his flowers? You get what you fucking deserve, and then just put out.
Gosh, no. Oh gosh, so many people. Oof.
That would have been funny. But yeah. So shout out and kudos to Joaquin Phoenix.
You know what would have scared me is if he wore the suit. You know, if he wore the iconic Arthur Fleck Joker suit, the one from his movie, obviously, to the award ceremony, and we accepted his award with that. At that point, like every clap in the audience would slowly die down as more and more people see what he's wearing. It's like,
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta pee. I'm gonna go to the restroom.
exactly.
Real
Oh,
quick. Yeah.
yep. Excuse me. I gotta go wash my hair. But yeah.
I left my dog in the dryer. I gotta go. Yeah.
Flashback. They really did leave the
They
dog
really
in the
did,
dryer.
yeah.
It's like a little pom pom, just like. That sounded like a cat.
It did. Oh shit.
All right, here we are. We're doing things.
Let's see. Who were we on? Me or you?
Go for it, bud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marvel Disney rumored to finally have the full rights to Hulk and Namor. This is big.
That is big.
Yes.
You know, I totally was hoping, and if you go back, I talked about this and raved for a good 5, 10, more like 20 minutes talking about how Endgame potentially gave us some cool Easter eggs of Namor. I still believe they were fun little write-ins talking about Namor, but I doubt it was a hard, this is the potential next biggie, you know?
I think they maybe put in there it's like if we do get the rights, then yes, this is leading. If we don't, then it's nothing.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. I think objective 1 was to write a fun lead-in, and I think subpar objective 2 was we could potentially use this in the future if things work our way, but going back to objective 1, we just want a cool read-in, you know, a lead-in that audience members can kind of spend some time pondering, you know? And that's exactly what we did. I was hoping it was more, and maybe subpar objective 2 is complete there, maybe, hopefully, that'd be really dope. Yeah. But I think objective 1 was the one. I think that was the winner here, you know? But it's awesome news, nonetheless, that Hulk and Namor finally come officially to the flagship.
Supposedly,
again. Yeah, good point. Knock on wood.
Yeah. But I mean, if this is true, then that means big news, because that means that, guess what? They can finally do an actual Hulk movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people, and this is a little bit of material for a future podcast here, but some people are a little disenchanted with the MCU version of the Hulk. Feeling
with
that
Mark
he's,
Ruffalo?
I mean, not with his acting, but with the Hulk in general.
Oh, with what they've done with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whether it be the fact that he's lost to Iron Man, he's lost to Thor without Mjolnir. I mean, he's pretty much gone. He's lost to Thanos, obviously. I mean, he's pretty much gone down. And then the last time he went down, he technically really didn't come back. And now he's got a crippled arm.
Yeah, because now we got Professor Hulk, which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
and which I'm fine with Professor Hulk, but if you're gonna do Professor Hulk, then he still has to be formidable.
Right.
And
which this one is friendly.
Yeah.
Which
and,
doesn't sound the same.
And for all the amazing things that Endgame did so well, unfortunately, like I know you don't have the time or the space to give everybody something that big, but I personally thought that Hulk deserved to walk out there with Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. Like, I understand you want those three, but damn it, Hulk is part of that too. You should have had Hulk walk out there with them.
Hell yeah.
For that big Thanos fight.
But like, actually, like,
do something. Yeah.
Yeah, like, fuck yeah, I'm angry Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm not Mark Ruffalo friendly giving you 2 tacos. I'm ready to punch shit.
I mean, he would have been another cool Ex Machina device if they wanted to use him like that. I mean,
true.
And when he's trapped under the rubble, like, just let the Professor Hulk go.
Exactly. And that would have been such a cool scene, dude, where it's like, like Mark Ruffalo's trying to lift this, and you can see like actual anger appearing on his face. I imagine almost like an inner dialogue of sorts, like being sounded out. And that, I guess, would have hit a little weird because we'd never seen that before for the MCU. But would it have been awesome? Fuck yeah, it would have, because all of a sudden the Hulk just takes over.
Yeah.
Or Mark Ruffalo just lets it happen, almost as in like a camaraderie within his own dementia type thing here. And it's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yes.
And then just like Hulk is like ripping off Professor bullshit and like, I'm raging Hulk bullshit now. I'm ready to punch shit. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, a lot of shit. A lot of shit. That would have been really fucking cool to see, though.
Yeah.
It just, it kind of breaks my heart when you think about it. Like, the last time we actually saw, like, the traditional Hulk was when he got his ass beat by Thanos, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
From there on out, we may have seen the big green giant, but it wasn't the same one, But regardless, though, if the rumors are true and if they do have the rights back, that's really fucking great. Mm-hmm. For Hulk and Namor. I mean, there's so much good things they could do there. Limitless potential. So we can hope.
Hell yeah, you and me both, dude. Knock on that wood again.
Yep.
Okay. I got a little bit of sad news here, and we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and say this and end on some other cool, hopeful shit here. But the sad bit first. Unfortunate. So DC actually canceled a potential comic run that they were about to start, Gotham by Gaslight. They were about to start it, and yes, that is the Victorian era Batman stories, kind of like what we got the animated movie off of. Essentially,
the S-World, it was the S-World story.
The S-World, but it sounds like they were planning on making a graphic novel run based on that, but they decided to ex-nay it and cancel it. Like we won't be getting it, not at least anytime soon.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is interesting, very much so. I didn't see as to why. All I know is that they just said, hey, so right now, as far as we're concerned, this has been canceled indefinitely.
Damn.
Which is unfortunate because I applaud that. It's cool. Non-canonical, so, just a fun read, nothing heavy. But that would have been kind of dope. A Victorian-era Batman kicking Jack the Ripper's ass or something. Or meeting Dr.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Thank you. Yep. Get out of my brain.
That'd be like a cool Two-Face story.
Yeah, I was about to say Dr. Hugo, and that's not right. It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yes, I said it right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dr. I keep trying to say Dr. Hyde too, which isn't true. Anyways, you get the point.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we won't be saying that. Yeah.
For now, I guess we just have to stick with the Gotham by Gaslight graphic novel and the movie, and that's all we got.
Right.
I mean, which I guess,
which it wasn't bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie, and it was different from the graphic novel a bit, but it was still good. Both were good.
Yeah. Did we watch and review that, or did we just watch?
We just watched it.
I thought so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We haven't talked about it on the air. Okay.
No. But damn, that is unfortunate. Venom 2. Sony responds to Spider-Man cameo rumors with a no comment.
Don't play us like that.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing about this. So Sony, they have been asked a bunch about a Spider-Man cameo, and they finally came out and they said no comment. So if I ever, Kevin, wind up in a high-profile court case, okay, and then You know, you see me being tried for murder, how I killed all those goddamn people.
Okay.
Allegedly, of course.
Okay.
And they say, okay, Q, did you indeed set fire to that chain of unfortunately put together orphanage / hospital / senior citizen center / youth center / church? Did you?
This town is built very poorly. It's like, who played Sims and put this together?
Did you set fire to that? And my lawyer leans into my ear and I go, I plead the fifth, Your Honor. That is an admission. That is an omission. Okay, so that means that I'm not admitting to anything, but chances are that means I fucking did it. If
Exactly.
I can't
like,
say,
if you need an omission, then chances are there's a fucking reason you do.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's kind of what I'd look at or think about with this Spider-Man cameo here. Of course, Venom 2 comes out this October, like almost the same exact day as Venom 1 came out in 2018.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, if... Obviously, I would love a fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man cameo. I think we all
would.
I mean,
Yeah,
that almost happened for the first one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there is a chance that could happen for this one.
Same here, dude. I think it would be the right thing to do to help serve the fans, especially after last year's whole debacle with Disney, Sony having such a rough
Gosh.
Spider-Man relationship, and drunk Tom Holland helping to bring it back from the brink of despair. But yeah, dude, I think that would be valuable. I think their fans would freaking gush over that. I think all of us would just be like, "Whoa, what? Look at this! Look at that! Look at that! What are they gonna fight? Is it gonna happen? Oh,
Right, yeah.
you know." I think it would be worth it. I really do. If it's not too late, guys, please just give it to me.
Yes, please.
Please let me see it, please. I'm asking kindly.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson is also cool, but please give me Tom Holland Spider-Man, at least for like 2 scenes.
I mean, hell, I would really love to see like a joint effort between Marvel and Disney with the Venom property. Mm-hmm. You know, that'd be really cool to see too, because we could get Venom at least for a majority of a movie as a villain. And that's all I need. You know what I mean? If you want to, if you want to end the movie with him as anti-hero, that's fine.
Yeah.
But at least let me get 75% of a movie of Venom whooping Spider-Man's ass, and then them coming together to stop Carnage.
Yep. That would be a more accurate representation of Venom, which was one of our major problems of the first Venom. Thank you, Tom. You were other Tom. Wow, ooh, that's misleading.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hardy, not Holland.
Oh my gosh, we can't even call him TH.
Nope.
Tom H. Fuck. Thank you, Tom Hardy. You are the enjoyable, likable Venom, which shouldn't have been the case, but wasn't, a horrible movie nonetheless. We made a podcast about it. Go listen. But yeah, I would totally love the idea where Venom's actually correctly represented from what he is in the comics, be that an anti-hero, but a villain more often than not. That would be dope. I agree with that. And plus, with him and Tom Holland in the movie together, that could be a top-notch comic book killer, dude. Yeah.
So let's do something that we're so fond of doing. Let's do a little bit of let's take the jobs away from the Hollywood people and let's write this story for them. How would you write in Tom Holland, or how would you write in that vendetta that both Venom and Tom Hardy or Eddie Brock have against Peter Parker? Like, how would you write that in?
Okay, so here's the way I would do it. I wouldn't want to disturb the age differences. I wouldn't want to do anything like that. I would want, at the end, I would still work with the idea of Tom Hardy's Venom, and I would still work with the ending plot line that we got to Venom 1, that version, where Tom Hardy was kind of like on again, off again, like potential are they, aren't they type bullshit with his woman, his love interest. I think that in that regard, he would potentially be able to work at regaining his job back, and that he would be able to eventually attempt to find a position or something like that. But I think it would be hella interesting if this was a movie where we kind of see like, a young Tom Holland beginning to intern at this place, at the same news type thing, and we see him kind of like on again, off again, but like eventually he's getting a lot of spotlight because he's bringing in Spider-Man pictures, and you know that's that money making shit. That's that stuff that makes JJJ that blood boil. And so eventually he kind of rises at the top, and he's like so esteemed and so liked, and because he's rising so quickly, there's no room for Tom Hardy's Venom, for Eddie to, I almost forgot his name. Wow. For Eddie to actually kind of like regain his position and his popularity and what he had in Venom 1, which was the top notch, you're the popular, you're the best reporter. No, this kid's the best. Who the fuck are you? You're the old guy who wears too many bracelets. And I think with that, I think there would be something like that to help tie this in. And I think also his girl finds a different guy and that they don't end up together. And I think that anger and the dementia that is because of the Venom, still a symbiote fucking with his mind, I think that would lead to the Tom versus Tom situation that is going to be our Spider-Man versus Venom that really helps fuck him up. I would love to reenact the church scene. I would throw that in there. That was a money-making scene.
Oh, yeah. That was like the best scene in Spider-Man 3.
It really was.
Yeah.
I would love to try to rope in a potential black suit Spider-Man, if only for an Easter egg, but I would definitely work my way to get that fucking shit happening.
Only if in this universe that we've created now that the Russos go on to do a Secret Wars movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I would pay for that.
Yeah.
But I'm too broke to do it, but I would. But yeah, I would totally have that shit happening. I would have that be the beginning stem amongst other things outside of Tom Holland's control, thus making it such an I guess disleveled but dual-sided anger towards Spider-Man, where it's all directed at him, both justly and unjustly. And I really love that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Man, I think about this, and man, it's like, I don't know if like the cat's out of the bag. Like, I don't know if it can. So I'll say this already, and I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but I don't think that they'll be able to do it to an extent that would really appease fans of the source material. Like, I don't think they can do it at this point.
I mean, maybe not sometime soon.
Yeah,
maybe in time to come.
Yeah, it had to be like years and years from now. They have to reintroduce these characters. Yeah.
Okay.
But as of now, like I don't see how, because I mean, with Eddie already being Venom, that just already throws a monkey wrench into a lot of the mechanics needed for that hatred to be instilled in both the symbiote and Eddie. But I think like so what we have now, we know that Peter Parker he's Spider-Man, and the rest of the fucking world knows it too. I mean, if you want to have somebody put like a bounty on Spider-Man, like, you need to bring him in, and you know, we could have it be like Eddie, he's broke, he's destitute, things aren't going his way. He needs the money.
Yeah,
he's like,
okay.
You know, we have the power to go after the Spider-Man. We can bring him down. And then, like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe the symbiote gains like this kind of fascination with them. Like, maybe the symbiote does continue to save people. Maybe they see Spider-Man. I can emulate that. I can do that. Fucking now he can swing.
And then we finally get the spider symbol.
Right?
That'd be kind of dope. That would be clever. I would like that a lot too, actually. I would dig that.
Oh man. So all the Hollywood executives that listen to the podcast, if you want to hire us.
You know, I hope I'm gonna write a little bit more fan fiction, but for us, our fan fiction. I hope that one day a Hollywood executive stumbles upon this show, and that they begin listening, and that they become an actual, honest, genuine fan, and that they keep listening to all of these back ideas and shit. And obviously, it would be far too late to enact on many of them. I'm talking about like years from now, they listen to our shit and realize like, these guys had some ideas. Where are they at? And that's the farthest fan fiction idea I've ever concocted.
But come to find out, we're dead. We've killed each other in a bloody two-person civil war.
Dude, we gotta go back to counseling. Two-person civil war? That's just called a fight.
Don't you downplay our fight.
I know, right? Like you're hitting me up with a knife, and somehow I got like a dramatic family heritage katana.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I have no idea. That's it. I got one more. How about you?
Yeah, I think I also have just one more.
Mine's short. I'll mention it real quick. So, and this is a rumor, but it's hopeful, and I kind of like it, and I like the actor. So a part of me kind of hopes it's true.
Well, this is the same one. Go ahead.
Okay. There's a rumor that Christian Bale. Yep, there it is. Okay, same one. Great ending.
Yeah.
Get the. What's it like in my brain, brother?
It's a little cramped.
It's a little cramped.
But yet empty.
Motherfucker. There's a rumor that Christian Bale actually is going to be in Thor: God of Love and Thunder. We don't know what he's going to play yet. There's not been a hard statement as to what's going to happen with that. But I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so there's a potential that Christian Bale is actually going to be in the movie, which excites the hell out of me because one, Christian Bale getting back into a superhero role, but two, in Marvel's universe. So super cool.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like he's just trying something different. Like I want to stretch out my comedic muscles.
I can see that.
Yeah. So that could be it. But also, like who could he be playing? And like there's been a lot of people who's been throwing names in the ring. Like I think a lot of people are just like me, just hopeful that this comes true. But I mean, I've seen things like Better Ray Bill.
I've seen that one. Yeah,
I've seen Hercules. I've seen even Ares.
Ooh,
yeah,
interesting. Okay,
it's like I mean, like those two in particular are just really, really big and bulky guys.
Well, I was actually just about to joke about that. Christian Bale is one of the few people in Hollywood who has this strange-esque power to manipulate his size, unlike any others. Because we've seen him for one movie get buff and in great shape, and we've seen him for another movie get super skinny and pale and like puny looking, and for another movie get back in big ass shape. And so it's like, what control do you have over your body that we do not have as mortals?
Unhealthy discipline. Like it was for one of his films, he was only eating for the I think it was for The Machinist, he was only eating like an apple a day, and like that was it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, like that's the movie where he got scary skinny. Like that shit was terrifying. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for that dedication to come to, the MCU.
But hopefully, whatever role it is, he won't need that. And I mean, like, I don't know what you're going to do. Like, I don't know what Taika Waititi would potentially have him do. Yeah. I mean, it's still a revolving story, but I guess we'll see as time goes on who he'll be. But that's all I got for that one.
Yeah, same here, man. I mean, I'm hopeful because, again, great actor. That would kind of spice the movie up for me, you know? And I'm curious what Waititi is going to do with this.
Yes.
I mean...
I will say this, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but...
Sure.
I hope that Better Ray Bill is not in this movie. And
I far agree with you.
Okay.
At first, I was sitting there thinking, like, well, that sounds like no, it's not. It didn't take me long for me to remember Waititi's interpretation of Thor and Hulk and Valkyrie even in the first movie with him. They're fun movies, and I believe wholeheartedly that this is going to be another fun movie, but I'm prepared this time is the big difference here to go into this not expecting a Marvel movie, but a fun movie.
Yeah, expecting a fun romp comedy.
Exactly. And that's... And Jane, I think, is going to be back in this, which is interesting.
She's going to be Lady Thor. She's going to be Lady Thor in this one, and that's really the reason why I don't want Better Ray Bill, because he would just play this weird fourth wheel that would be unnecessary in this, because Valkyrie's going to be in there too.
Fourth.
Yeah. So he just played like this weird kind of. He wouldn't matter. He wouldn't be important. And no offense to Taika, I think that he's a great director. I don't like his take on Thor. You guys know that already.
Yeah, you guys obviously know. That was our third episode ever.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie.
But, with that being said, I don't think he do Better Ray Bill any favors. And the Better Ray Bill movie I want, like the Thor 4 that I really want, would be just Thor and Better Ray Bill. It'd be like those two going fucking at it because of miscommunications. similar to how it was in the comics.
Yeah.
Then we see Thor. You can show this part in the trailer. You see Thor looking up and Beta Ray Bill is lifting Mjolnir, and Thor's like, "Oh fuck me!" Or Stormbreaker, since technically that's the hammer that Beta Ray Bill gets is a Stormbreaker.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's all falling in line. Oof. If not Beta Ray Bill, real quick, last question: Who would Christian Bale be if not Beta Ray Bill? What's the other options? Oh no, Q. Okay. I didn't ask. We didn't talk about it. Homies, scratch it from memory.
I don't want Taker to touch Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, dude, I was just trying to spare you, man. Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. We will see.
See them making jokes about the horse face man.
Of course. Yeah.
Let's once again ignore all the pain that Beta Ray Bill and his people have gone through. We did it with Sakaar. We can do it again. Let's move on.
I will move on to this real
Yes.
quick. I was hoping that we wouldn't get another Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson movie. But Waititi is a talented director. He's done some other projects in the past year that were really cool and definitely deserved the attention that they got, and that's awesome. Not exactly properties that we would talk about on this show, but nonetheless, cool shit. Thumbs up, my man.
Yeah.
And again, just to reiterate this, Ragnarok I was not prepared for because I wanted an MCU movie, and instead I got a fun comedy of sorts, And this time I'm prepared for that, so my grading scale is going to be prepped for that too. But it's instantly going to get I already feel like in this point is going to get a few marks of okay. I'm not anticipating this to be a Thor or a proper Lady Thor or Beta Ray Bill potentially, hopefully not, but potentially, and Valkyrie movie. We'll see.
So I want to say one more potential negative, then a positive about this.
Ooh, fun spin.
Yeah, the potential negative I see is I think that Taika would probably fucking adore Fat Thor, and I think that he would keep that around.
Oh fuck.
And fun-loving Fat Thor, who he could potentially end up being about as useful as Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp movie.
Where's the positive?
And on top of that, I think that also if that movie is nearly as successful as Ragnarok, that shit could unfortunately bleed over to the comics. And
where's the positive? You said 2 things of negative and a positive. You said 3 negatives. You said I'm gonna hit you once and put a combo on me.
So the positive is this, and I won't speak too much about this because we're gonna speak about this in just a couple of days. But Taika directs an episode of The Mandalorian, and I would have never guessed he did until I saw the credits roll. Yeah.
Okay, so hopeful. I can take hopeful. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, so this man does know how to do something that isn't just a laugh fest. Like he is capable. He does understand, at least to some extent, like what these characters are and what they need to be and what a structured plot is to match these characters. Like he does get that. I could tell by I guess it was the last episode, so that's a big episode of any season of television.
Yeah. Okay.
And so to give that to him, I think was pretty damn telling. And not only that, but it worked.
Okay.
It was a great episode, and it was done by him. And it was just the same serious, stern tone that the rest of the series has portrayed itself as. So with that, I know now that he can do something that isn't just
look at this.
That isn't just sacrificing the characters for a laugh. He knows that he can do something more.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, and hopefully he leans a little bit more into that because I like that. Give me more of that version of Taika for Thor 4, and I think that I'll be more on board.
Yep.
You got the grimace face going on there.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Yep. Just
I'm trying to be positive here, Kevin.
Me too.
No, you're not. Damn it.
The difference is this one has Chris Hemsworth, who adores the silly shit.
Yeah.
But this is all podcast material for a later episode. So, hopes. You said he did a great Mandalorian episode. I haven't watched all of it yet, so I'm still preparing my notes for our episode for the Patreon again. But fuck yeah, dude. I'm going to be ready for it. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to watch the episode. I'm going to prepare my thoughts on his direction style for that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you have like the advantage ahead of time of knowing that, okay, so this one is done by him. Let me see if I can find any signs of
his marks, of his bullshit, you know? Yeah.
But yeah, guys, with that being said, though, before we close, once again, if you guys have been even the slightest bit interested in our Patreon page, then just give it a look at patreon.com/superhero homies, where all of our cool shit is. There's so much content there and so much more that we're doing here. We just did The Grudge, the latest horror movie of the year.
Hell yeah.
We just reviewed that one. That and all of our new movie reviews are all of on our $1 account. Our $3 account gives you access to all of our new movies, all of our video game reviews, all of our television talk, all of our other nerd conversation pieces. It gives you everything for the low price of $3. And that's at patreon.com/superhero homies.
Hell yeah, it is. And guys, I mean, as we joked about before, very early on in this episode, there's a lot of stuff that we're nerds about. It does not start and stop in the superhero genre. We have a lot of shit that we're into. Feel free to explore what that is. But yeah, man, I'm good on my end. I'm fit.
Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Comic News.
Every time I make up a new tune, it's not a good tune.
But if you guys do have any other kind of questions, comments, scarce food supplies about the podcast, then please hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or any of our social media outlets.
Hell yeah.
That's all I got for now, my friend.
Yeah, no, same here. Guys, it's always awesome talking to you. Hopefully your year is starting off great. We'll talk to you next time.
So until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And as always, I am Superhero Homie Kevin.